Your ad hook decides everything in the first 3 seconds, and you cannot tell which one is winning. You write a curiosity opener, a negative one, a before and after, a price drop, and you ship all of them. Some clearly beat the rest, but if someone asked you which hook style is actually driving your ROAS, you would honestly be guessing. That's exactly what this video fixes, because by the end, you'll know how the best TTC teams measure their hooks and turn that into their next batch of winners. And the reason this matters so much is that the hook is where you win or lose the click. More than 70% of social video gets watched on mute, so your opening frame has to land on the visual alone. Get it right and people stay. Get it wrong and your budget burns on impressions that never convert. That gap between a hook that works and one that doesn't shows up clearly in the benchmarks. In 2026, a solid opener earns a hook rate around 28% on Meta and 33% on TikTok, and the top 10% of advertisers hit 45 to 55. That's the bar you're actually competing against. Clearing that bar sounds like the whole game, but here's what most teams miss, and it's the part that quietly kills ROAS. A high hook rate isn't the whole story. Two ads can share the exact same 30% hook rate and still show a 6 times gap in ROAS because one holds the viewer and the other loses them right after the opener. Which means you cannot judge a hook only by whether it stopped the scroll. You have to know which specific hook, the dialogue, the on screen text, the visual style, actually carried people through to the purchase. You could try to track it by hand, and plenty of teams do. You download every creative, you watch the first 3 seconds of each one, you write down the hook type and the format in a spreadsheet, and then you try to line it all up against hook rate and ROAS without slipping up. It holds together for a while. Then you're shipping 30 new variations a week, roughly 80 to 90% of which never become winners, and the whole system falls apart. Most teams give up and go back to briefing hooks on instinct. That's exactly why we built Segwise. You connect your ad networks, and Segwise uses multimodal AI to tag every hook automatically: the opening dialogue, the on screen text, the visual style, the audio, across images, videos, statics, and even playable ads. Because every one of those tags is mapped straight to your metrics, you can see which hook style is actually driving hook rate, CTR, and ROAS instead of guessing from a thumbnail. Its asset clustering can take two nearly identical creators and tell you which single hook caused the ROAS difference between them. And it watches for fatigue, so you get a warning before a winning hook declines, not 2 weeks after it already has. Once Segwise knows which hooks are winning, you can just ask it which hook style drove the most purchases last month and get an answer instantly. From there, its generation agent builds net new creatives around those proven openers, so your best hook becomes your next batch of tests instead of a one off. That's the whole loop, from knowing which hook works to producing more of it, without starting from scratch every time. If you're tired of guessing which hook to brief next, try Segwise for free. The link is in the description, and you're set up in a few minutes with no engineering.